Hey guys, what's up? Today we're gonna find out what the term rare really means. Is it subjective? Is it something objective? Is it out there in the dictionary of gaming? What makes a game rare? And more specifically, what makes an RPG rare? What are the requirements? What are the specifics? Are there some kind of conditions to be met for an RPG to be worthy of the name of the term rare? We're gonna find out today. But first of all, let's start with the terminology itself. In video game technicisms, a rare game is usually referred to a game that is very expensive and that is hard to find. For example, I have been making since about 8 months ago a series of videos called The Rarest, and in parentheses, most expensive JRPGs on every single video game system, on every single console. And most of those games, whether they're popular or not, are quite rare, are among the rarest, because they are very expensive and because they are somewhat hard to find. But is that really true? I mean, in the end, what makes a game rare? Just the title very expensive? Well, when it comes to those videos, that's why I put the parentheses there. Some people think it's completely unnecessary. Those videos should be called the rarest JRPGs ever, the rarest RPGs on the Genesis, the rarest RPGs on the Sega Saturn, the rarest RPGs on the PS1, whatever. But does the word rare only entitles most expensive, like the most expensive game? Because there are some really expensive games that are pretty easy to find. Take Chrono Trigger, for example. Chrono Trigger on the Super Nintendo, whether it's the loose cartridge or a complete in-box copy, usually choose the cartridge. It's not exactly hard to find. I mean, you go to eBay, to several other websites, even your local game stores, reseller stores, and you see at least one of them being sold, yeah, for a really high price. That's right, I don't know, $150, $180, $200, whatever. The point is that, yes, Chrono Trigger, it's a very expensive game, therefore it's one of the rarest JRPGs on the Super Nintendo. But is it hard to find? Nope. Is it unknown? Nope. It's extremely popular. So maybe the word rare could also mean a game that is unknown, underrated, overlooked, hidden gem, or regardless of its price, a rare game could also be a very hard to find game. To me, that makes much more sense. But, I adapt myself to the general consensus of the term, because a lot of people use that term for the most expensive games. Whether they're popular or not, I don't know. Take another example that isn't an RPG, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on PlayStation 2. There is a rare game. Why is it a rare game? Because it's a little bit expensive, like, I don't know, $80, $70 maybe. But is it hard to find? Well, yes it is. But is it a game that is unknown? No, everybody knows Marvel vs. Capcom, come on! So that's my point. So in the end, what makes an RPG rare? When does it become rare? All these factors involved, all these conditions, these requirements, what are they? I mean, is it a game that's just too expensive? That's rare? Or is it a game that is hard to find? That makes more sense. To me, the word rare, it's more oriented to something that is hard to find, in my opinion. So, could it be that some games, just for being unknown, are rare? There are a lot of unknown games, a lot of them, but you walk into almost every single reseller store, and they're selling at least one of them. Yes, they're very unknown. Those games have probably been sitting there for like months, maybe years. Resellers are selling them for like $5 because nobody wants them. They're very unknown. So are these games rare, even though they're just cheap as hell and they're not hard to find at all? Well, and there's another factor that contributes to this discussion. Hard to find. Some games are hard to find in some areas, and some other games are easy to find in some other areas. For example, there's this game called Trinity. I have it right here, Trinity. Souls of Zeal, yeah, strange subtitle, but in the end it's an action RPG on the PS3, and exclusive to the system. So this game, is it expensive? No, this is a $20, $25 game, maybe less, $15 game, but where I come from, in Mexico, this is a really hard to find game. Like before I bought this game here in Canada, I had never seen this game physically in my country, like anywhere. Maybe in Mercado Libre, which is the eBay for Latin America. Maybe I saw a couple of times, 1 copy or 2 copies, maybe 3 copies at the same time, for high prices, like $30-something US dollars. But usually, you walk into almost every single store, every single reseller, anywhere, and you can't find this game. So is it a rare game? It's rare because it's really hard to find in my city, Guadalajara, Mexico. But here in Belleville, Ontario, Canada, there's like 5 places selling video games, and I saw this game in 3 different places for a very cheap price. I got this for like $15 US. You see what I mean? So what makes an RPG rare? I think the term rare is entirely subjective. So in my opinion, rare is more leaning towards hard to find games, whether they're expensive, popular, or cheap, or known or unknown or underrated. To me, a rare game is first and foremost a hard to find game. But, most people use the term rare for a game that is just really, really goddamn expensive. So in the end, it's open for discussion. What do you think makes an RPG rare? When do they become rare? What are the requirements, the conditions, the specifics, everything? What do you think about this topic in particular? What makes an RPG rare, in your opinion? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. See you next time!